doing a live YouTube broadcast. So as people jump on, say hello, let me know where you are watching from, even as you catch the replay. So this is also a first in that it's the first time I'm doing a live business briefing for Nu Skin. And the purpose of this is to introduce or help you introduce people to Nu Skin and give a brief overview. It's not meant to be super in-depth, but it will give people a rough understanding of who this company is, what products they work with, and how they can potentially partner with them. So I'm looking to do this regularly. If you enjoy it, let me know. If there's any feedback, if there's anything that you think it's missing, please let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, so first off I should probably introduce who I am because in order to share the story of Nu Skin, I've got to tell a few different stories for you. So I came to Nu Skin, or was first introduced to Nu Skin when I was 22 years old, so super young. And good morning Vicky, I can see you there. We've got some Filipinos watching, it's great to have you here. So when I was introduced to it, I wasn't interested at all because at that point in time I was traveling and my main interests were to keep traveling. However, I kept running out of money and I traveled because I liked the freedom of that, the sense of adventure, the exploration. However, I didn't like being broke all the time. So I started looking for a business that I could take with me on the road. You see, I see business as the most egalitarian pathway to freedom, and that's because I saw my parents who didn't finish university, my father didn't finish high school, and yet they created an amazing life through business. It's very open like that. However, I didn't want the same business as what they had. They've got a brick and mortar business, so they're limited to the geographical location and the customers that live nearby. If anything happens to that geographic location, their business suffers, as happened in Australia last year with the bushfires. It actually surrounded my family's hometown and they couldn't operate their business. It was hugely impacted. Whereas my business is online, it's in the cloud, it's through personal connections and relationships, and it continued to function despite different hardships that have happened around the world. So this is especially important at this point in time as we continue through this pandemic, and a lot of people who were certain are now uncertain. You know, you might have had a very good job before, but now you've had to pivot and change and you're working from home and maybe that's going really well and maybe it's not. And maybe you're not so certain about the career that you were on and you're looking for options. So this is what this video is for, to provide you with those options. So when the businesses that I was working in at that time, when I was 22 years old, when they didn't really get up off the ground, because I realized business is not the easiest thing to do, and I made the golden mistake of entrepreneurs, is that I came up with an idea for a product and then I spent all my time and money in creating that product, and when I brought it to the market, turns out people didn't really want it and they weren't willing to pay money for it. And I think that is the golden mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make, is they come up with the idea first and they invest a lot of time and energy into producing that idea and bringing it into a reality, rather than checking what the market actually wants and needs and then figuring out the best way to supply them with that. So my mind opened up to Nu Skin when I was 23 after I'd failed at a couple of different businesses, lost my money that I'd invested into them and tried to build it up. And I realized that, you know what, I need to find a better way. I need to find something that takes care of all the logistics, that takes care of creating the products, sending the products, that has all the infrastructure, all the websites, all the technical aspects that I'm not very good at. And all I have to focus on is finding the customers and building and training the sales force. That's something that I can do. And so it began when I was 23 by introducing my doctor to one of the products that Nu Skin has, because I thought it was amazing. I thought they'd be interested in it. They bought a whole range of products. They put it in their clinic, and I made more money from that connection than the other two businesses that I'd started up in the years prior. So that got me started with Nu Skin. I've been with Nu Skin for over 10 years now, and it has really created the freedom and flexibility for me to work anywhere, to live anywhere, and that is so important right now. As workplaces here in Australia, where we're currently in lockdown in Sydney, as workplaces are kind of forcing people to do things that maybe they don't want to do in order to keep a job. Whereas I have the luxury of not having to go through that experience. So, who is Nu Skin, this company that I'm mentioning? Well, they have been around since 1984. So they're 36, 37 years, or coming on to 37 years old now. So they've been around for a long time. They've got a lot of experience in the market. And they started off just with $5,000 startup capital. Now, this was a crazy idea at the time because they wanted to build a company, a personal care company, using all of the good ingredients and none of the bad ingredients. Revolutionary idea at the time, doesn't sound that crazy right now, but you see, most of the market at that time were using fillers that were very cheap but not necessarily good for your skin. And so they created this product range. Everyone told them they were crazy, that they would go out of business, that they couldn't have enough profit margin because the ingredients were too expensive. And as a result of those high quality ingredients, they actually found that customers kept coming back and demanding more, and they were in business. That first 10 years in business, they grew to $1 billion company. That makes them a hyper growth company. And they've grown from there to a multi-billion-dollar company that they are today. They're operating in over 50 markets around the world, and we've got quite a few people watching from different markets around the world right now. So they started in the US, however they expanded through North America, into Asia. The strongest markets in Asia are definitely Japan, China, Korea, and Southeast Asian markets are very strong as well. Philippines, you guys really rock it with Nu Skin, but here in Australia, we are very strong with Nu Skin. In Europe, Latin America, but there's huge parts of the world that are largely untouched by Nu Skin yet, which is so interesting because the largest companies in this industry are operating in 100, 150 plus countries. We have so much room for expansion there. But we also have room for expansion in regards to the product lines that Nu Skin works with. So they began as a personal care company. However, they have evolved with time, where they acquired a company called Pharmanex, which works on nutritional supplements. So they approached it from the outside and the inside in regards to anti-aging and personal care. But with more time, they've also gone very heavily into science. So if you love science, this is the company for you, because they have acquired a bunch of different research companies like LifeGen Technologies, Nox Technologies, and the most recent acquisition is a company called GrowViv, which allows Nu Skin now to have complete control over their supply line and the quality of the raw ingredients, because what GrowViv does is they use artificial intelligence and a very innovative and patented design to have essentially vertical farming that is location independent. You can grow this in a warehouse in the middle of a city, and it uses 3% of the water that would usually be required to produce the same quantity of food. It uses no pesticides, no chemicals. So this is better than organic. It doesn't get touched by a human hand until you're ready to consume the product. So that means they can have a way higher quality of raw ingredients, which for us, the end consumers, we get better results. So Nu Skin has evolved over the years to have over 75 full-time scientists, many of whom are PhDs in many different disciplines. And that's what's super important, because if they're all just dermatologists, there's no crossover of professions and fields and knowledge there. Whereas if you've got a PhD at chemistry, if you've got an engineer, if you've got all these different people, they can come together and create amazing products. And that's exactly what Nu Skin has done to become the world's #1 at-home beauty device brand. That's because of devices like the LumiSpa, which you may have seen. If you're online, then you've most likely seen the LumiSpa before. Let me know in the comments if you guys have used the LumiSpa before. Let me know if you love it. let me know what it's done for you, because this is the world's #1 cleansing device. It is super, super popular. But Nu Skin doesn't stop there. They have essentially converted what would traditionally be only found in beauty salons with estheticians. You would have to go travel somewhere, pay a lot of money, and have a very professional, high-end treatment. Well, Nu Skin has converted those into devices that you can use yourself at home for the highest quality treatment at a fraction of the cost, and so much more convenient. And that's exactly what happened with the galvanic face spa that you see behind me, the body spa that you see down there in the corner, and the ageLOC Me. All of these devices have made it possible for us to have in our bathrooms a beauty therapist, our own personalized service. And there are many new products that are coming. Of course, the ageLOC Boost. Many people have tried this, but it's still launching around the world. It just launched in Europe. We were very lucky in Australia to have access to this first. It's incredible. What this does is just give you that quick and easy boost to your skin. It helps you have radiant, glowing skin. And the real power of this is that it's simple to use. It's just 2 minutes and you're done. Similar to the LumiSpa, 2 minutes and you're done. So as you can see, Nu Skin has a broad range of products, and they've really cornered the market on the beauty devices. And the reason why that's important from a business perspective is because the beauty device category of the beauty industry is currently worth roughly $39 billion. However, it is set to triple by 2024, and we are the #1 brand in that category. And Nu Skin, because of their huge science focus, their research and development, they are bringing out new products. They're always working to get the cutting edge of what's next in the marketplace, so that we as distributors for this company always have something exciting and new and powerful to bring to the market and build our business. So that's super exciting for me, that the beauty device category is set to triple over the next 3 years, because that's the category that we are focusing on the most. So I had a couple of comments there. Hi Tracy, thank you for watching. So guys, about all the products that I'm talking about in here, obviously I can't share them with you right now, but I have videos on my profile, on my page, that you can check out for all of them. That's a great way to explore the Nu Skin product range and get a better understanding and feel for what sort of products and science this company has. So who is the company exactly? Well, as I mentioned before, they were founded in 1984. They're an American company. And the most important of all is that they are listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, why is that important? That's important because it means that they are transparent. It means that they have to back up any claim that they make, whether that be a product claim or a financial claim. It means they're audited. And they have been on the New York Stock Exchange for over 20 years now. So they're a very solid company. They also have a Dun & Bradstreet 5A1 rating. Now, for those of you who don't know who Dun & Bradstreet is, they're a company that gives financial ratings to large organizations, large companies that are publicly traded. And essentially this rating, 5A1, is the highest rating. It means that a company is extremely solid, they're very secure, they've got a lot of cash in the bank, and their likelihood of them being around in the future is very high. Just to give you an example of some other companies, there's HSBC, they've got a 4A1 Dun & Bradstreet rating. There's Toyota, 4A1 Dun & Bradstreet rating. So they're all got lower. They're great companies, but they don't hold the same security that Nu Skin has, and that's thanks to the business model that Nu Skin operates in. Nu Skin is a network marketing business. Now, why is that important, and how is that different to other business models? Well, the short version of it is that the reason why it's important for Nu Skin is that it means they don't have to waste a lot of money, millions of dollars, on mass market advertising. That's where you just put an ad out there, you pay some famous people to say, hey, look at this product. I use this. It's fantastic. And I recommend you to use it too. And then you smear it across TV, social media, magazines, everything. And you hope that it lands on the right person. So that's the conventional way of doing business. The way Nu Skin does business is they put this product in the hands of trained distributors like myself and like many others around the world. Say hi, guys, if you're watching. And they let us share it and demonstrate it with those who we know, those who like us, those who trust us, the personal networks and relationships that we already have. And that is an extremely powerful business model because Nu Skin only has to pay the commission when a product is actually sold. And that means there's a lot less risk in regards to the business. There's a lot less outlays. It's a lot easier to expand the business. And for us as distributors, there's a bunch of different benefits for us because it means it's grassroots marketing. We don't have to have a huge marketing budget. What we do, I like to sum it up in 3 words, is we use the product, we love the product, and we share the product. That is the business. And if you do that regularly, inevitably you end up with customers, but you also find people who want to do the same thing as you. Maybe they've been a long-term customer, maybe they're getting great results, and people are asking them, where are you getting these products from? How can I get access to them? And they end up making a commission because they have sold someone some products. So then they're interested in the business, and we start training them up how to do the exact same thing that we do. And we get a percentage of the volume of our entire organization. So that's network marketing. And the real benefit of that for us as distributors is that it has leverage built into it. So leverage is super, super important because it means that you can step back from this business once you've built the foundation and the income can continue to come if you've built it right. As my business partner did, life happens to all of us. I believe it's Brian Tracy who says that life is a series of problems followed by a crisis, which is followed by more problems and then another crisis. And it's this cycle that goes around. And the longer I'm living, the more I'm finding that to be relatively true. And my business partner is a good example of that. There was back surgery. They were bedridden for months and months. Over the last 2 years, there's been family trauma. A whole lot of horrific things have happened in their life. However, luckily, they had built this business with Nu Skin, and they built it to a point where they haven't been active in the business for the last 2 years, and yet they've made over $250,000 from that business. Now, a full product and financial disclaimer here. I'm not saying anyone's going to go out and just make a whole bunch of money with this company if you're not doing work. They have worked very hard and they've built a business, but there's leverage built into this business. And as a result of that, they are able to reap the rewards even when they're not actively engaged in the business. Now, for me personally, when I was 23 years old, I didn't really understand it. All I understood was that I wanted some freedom and that I realized this is a great way to do that, and I could have a flexible business that could travel with me and allow me to keep traveling and exploring the world. Now, Nu Skin, let's talk about compensation, because I know that most people are looking at this in regards to a business are interested in the money. How does the money work with Nu Skin? Well, simply put, there are 3 different ways. There's sharing, there's building, and there's leading. So sharing aspect of the compensation plan is you make retail profit like any normal business, the difference between the wholesale price and the price that you sell the product for. And that is a very generous profit, particularly given that you don't need to actually have the inventory for all these products, because Nu Skin has these apps, they've got the website, all of which, once the account is created for you, is linked to you. So you can create a link to someone, send it to them, even if they're in, let's say, Philippines, or maybe they're in Peru or the US, and I'm here in Australia. Nu Skin takes care of processing the payment in the local currency. It takes care of warehousing the product and then sending the product direct to the consumer. I don't touch the product at all in that regard. However, I get paid the commission for making that connection and facilitating the sale and helping that person to get the best results with that product. That's our role as a distributor. So that's amazing right there. That's the sharing aspect. And then there is the building aspect. Now, if you're out there sharing the product a lot, inevitably, as I said before, you will find people who want to earn some extra income. And maybe many of you who are watching this find yourself in the same situation where you're looking at this for a way to generate extra income. So that's where you're building a team of people who are essentially, you're teaching them how to sell, how to share these products, and how to effectively market them so that they can generate an extra income too. And you will earn a percentage on the sales of your entire organization. So that's where I guess I can say congratulations and welcome to leverage, because you get a little taste of leverage right there. I mean, with the sharing aspect, you get a taste of leverage in that Nu Skin takes care of all the normal difficult and complicated aspects of business. That's great leverage. But this is the financial leverage where you actually have you're multiplying your time, because there's more than just yourself working. You've got a team of people who are working. And that brings us to the lead category of the compensation plan, which is when you're doing the sharing, when you're doing the building, inevitably at some point you will step up and you will lead teams and multiple teams all within your organization, and you will be training people, you will be guiding people to step up as a leader, and as a result you will get paid a very generous commission, a very generous percentage of the volume of the overall organization. Now, if any of that got too confusing, don't worry about it. I've got videos that explain it in more detail, but essentially the more product that is being sold as a result of yourself and your organization that you have created, the more money you make. Now, how much can you make? Well, because this is an international video, I can't, I'll do it in US dollars just to kind of average it out. So Nu Skin is a publicly listed and traded company, as I said before, on the New York Stock Exchange. That means all the financials are publicly available. So the average incomes, I've written them down here, for different levels within the business are publicly available. So if you're just starting out and you're a brand representative, the average income for a brand representative around the world is roughly 500 US dollars. That's a great income because most people are doing that part-time. They're doing that on the side or in the cracks of time available to them. You can do this in little 15-minute installments throughout the day. Whenever you have access to internet, social media, whenever you have access to talking to people, you can operate this business. And that's another thing that appealed to me in regards to this business. So moving up from there, if the next level, someone who's doing a little more work, maybe been in for a little more time, average monthly income is around 1,000 US, and then someone who's the step up from there is around 1,500, and the step up from there, which is still generally done part-time, is an extra 2,800 US per month. It's almost 3,000 US per month. They are the average monthly income. So that is a fantastic part-time income, regardless of where in the world you are. Then you get into those who tend to transition to a full-time income level or full-time work level. And that's when you've got to someone who's helped roughly 4 to 5 people build a business. They're generally making around 5,300 US per month. And then you've got the diamonds who are building definitely full-time at that stage because it's almost 10,000 US per month. And then you've got the people who are definitely on that leadership portion out of the share, build, lead, and they have an average monthly income of over 43,000 US per month. So keep in mind they're averages. So there's always people who are earning more than that, and there's people who are earning less than that. But it's the first time in my life I've been happy to have an average income. And it's the style of this income as well that is super important. It's not so important the number that is on it. It's the freedom of choice that it allows us. And right now in this pandemic, I think that is the most valuable asset that we have accessible to us, is the freedom to choose. And a lot of people have had that freedom taken away, particularly here in Australia. We've had that freedom taken away. And I'm noticing people now seeing the importance of having a plan B, of having something on the side that would give them back that freedom to choose. And so that's why I share this business, is exactly for that reason. So guys, let me know where you're watching this from, because I can see a bunch of you have tuned in. I'm really curious as to how far in the world this reaches. At the moment, we've got Philippines, US, all tuning in there. So that's the compensation side of this business. And the beauty of this is that there's no boss telling you how much you're worth. It's totally up to you and the effort that you put into this business as to what you get out of it. So that's a really important aspect there, is that there's no ceiling, that no one is going to say you're worth this much and no more. If you are very productive, then you can just keep going. Most people will find a level that gives them whatever the goal is that they want, and they move on from there with their life. Hello, Sonia. Whereabouts are you watching from? And so that brings me to kind of wrapping up this whole video here, which is whether or not Nu Skin is the right fit for you. So one more aspect in regards to compensation is the success trips. So as someone who loves traveling around the world, that's been super important to me. I've always traveled. However, it's been on an absolute budget. I was a hitchhiker, so I'd travel for free a lot of the time. What I couldn't do was share the ride. I couldn't share the experience with those that I loved and cared for the most because I didn't have the money for that. And that's where Nu Skin really stepped in a big way for me. What happens is, as you move through that compensation plan, as you've got volume happening in your business, they reward you with a 5-star trip somewhere in the world. Now, it has gotten a little complicated at the moment because we're limited to where we can travel, at least here in Australia we are. And these trips are truly incredible experiences. I've had the good fortune of being on 2 of those trips, one to the US and the other one to South Africa. Now, the South African trip, I got to take my mum, and that was her dream, was to go on safari in South Africa. And I could never afford that. It's super expensive to do that from Australia. It's a long way to fly, and it's very expensive to stay in the hotels that we stayed at. But I was able to give my mum that experience, and still to this day, it is, both of us, the greatest experience of our lives. We went on safari. We had this big barbecue dinner in the actual safari park. There were lions, there were it was amazing, surreal, out of this world, and I am forever grateful to Nu Skin for providing me with that gift. And they provide you with 2 of those per year if you're building the business, if you're making the volume. And that's something that these trips are out of this world. It's something I never could have done on my own when I used to travel. So if you have been on one of those trips, please let us know in the comments where it was and what the experience was like for you, because they are incredible trips. So timing. Is it the right time for you? Is it the right time for Nu Skin? Right now, there are a whole bunch of powerful trends in the marketplace that are like a perfect storm for Nu Skin. I mean, the restrictions that have happened as a result of the pandemic have increased our business because people are looking for ways to generate an extra income, because people couldn't go to beauty salons, so they started to care for their skin, care for their health at home. So these forces really helped Nu Skin. We didn't have a shop front that had to be closed down or restricted. People are now purchasing online in numbers that have never been seen before. I mean, the courier drivers, the post office and delivery men are working like crazy. It's like Christmas except every day of the year because everyone's shopping online. So what Nu Skin does is they provide you with your own online store. They give you all the support that you need. And of course, there's us, the team members, the distributors, who are here to train you and show you how to do this, because if you were like me at 23 years old, I had no idea what I was doing and I had to learn a lot of things. But that's what's great about this, is that you get to earn while you learn. And I think that's a real paradigm shift there to the normal invest, maybe go into debt to go to university and then struggle along to survive while you're learning, and then you get this piece of paper that hopefully you can exchange for a higher wage when you get out of university. However, that's not working as well as it used to. And so with Nu Skin, it's different. You start today and you can start earning as well as soon as you're working and you're learning how to build this business. That is something really unique and different and powerful. So it's an incredible time for Nu Skin. They have some powerful new products on the horizon that they're launching. which will open up new markets as well. I mean, India and Brazil are huge markets that we haven't even touched yet. There's massive parts of Africa and the Middle East and Asia that still aren't open. It's a very exciting time for the company. The question is the right time for you? Only you can really answer that, and one of the best ways to do that is I encourage you to try out the products. Have a personal experience with these products, because the merit of the business is built on the merit of these products. Do they work? Do they give you results? And that's the great thing about the science of this company, is that the products actually have guarantees, performance guarantees. Many of them do. And as a result, you can put your faith in these products and in the business. So I encourage you to get back to the person who shared this with you. If you just randomly stumbled upon this on YouTube, then you're welcome to send me a message and we can talk about different questions that you have, because no doubt you have questions. I encourage you to ask them. The more questions you ask, the more you'll like this company. I can guarantee that. All right, guys, my name is Kurt Provost. I am your guide to all things Nu Skin. Did you enjoy this? Was this helpful for you? Please let me know. I'd like to create a regular weekly business briefing that can help you guys and help everyone to get this company out there and grow your business utilizing resources like this. I may get a little more high tech and use some slides. This was just the first one, a bit of a rough draft. So please give some feedback and let's see how it goes in the future. All right, guys, have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Ciao.